This video is brought to you by Huawei App Gallery. To explain briefly how it works, Huawei is running a campaign for the release of the Object 260, a brand new tier 10 heavy Russian tank, in order for you to get it cheaper. This offer gives you a 45% total bonus, 25% through coupons and 20% through cashback. To download the application, nothing easier. Just go into your browser or directly copy-paste the link in the description. That should get you on their website. When you're there, click on the download button and you're set up. Keep in mind the application is available on any Android phone or even PC using an emulator. When you're in, just create your account and make sure after to go into settings and set your country to UK, Ireland or New Zealand, as these are the countries where the promotion is running. If you come from another country, no problem, you can just set your country in the App Gallery settings to UK, Ireland or New Zealand, knowing that UK has the best price. When you're done, it's simple, just download World of Tanks Blitz from the App Gallery store. Now, head to your browser and copy-paste the link in the description. It will direct you to the campaign page from which you will be able to claim the coupons. Make sure to accept the terms and conditions of the campaign, and after it will lead you to Huawei App Gallery store, into the coupon section, from which you will be able to redeem the coupon. The reduction will then be applied on the purchase you make based on the price of the coupons that you can see below. On top of that, you have a cashback opportunity. Log into World of Tanks Blitz using your Huawei account to benefit from a huge 20% cashback from whatever purchase you make. For example, if you spend 20 euros, you will have a 4 euro cashback that you will be able to use on your future purchase, not only on the Skoda T27. When you're done, you will see that there is a possibility for you to actually get some Huawei points. Just make sure after your payment is done to select this option, and if you don't have it, just sign up in first. You claim them, and after you will be able to finally get your Huawei points. Now, congratulations, you just earn yourself 1 free euro that you can spend back into the game, as you can see right there. To use the Huawei points, just select them as a payment method, which will allow you to pay with something you got completely for free. And we all love free stuff. This promotion is gonna run from the 26th of April till the 26th of May. And once again, I wanna thank Huawei for sponsoring that video. Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new in-shop video, and one of the few I'm really excited for, because we're gonna talk about the Object 268, which was, when I still played World of Tanks PC, my favorite tank. Now the question is it gonna be the exact same tank as we have in World of Tanks Blitz? To know that, first we are gonna gamble and we're gonna talk about the tank after. So let's not lose too much time and jump directly into it. There we go, guys. We have the Object 260, or I should say containers that should lead us to get the Object 260. You have a 5% drop chance of the tank, like it's common. Usually that's what Wargaming does. And you have in each container a chance to get a charm. And once you acquire at least 30 charms, and not 25 this time, you will be able to get the tank guaranteed. Here I spent 100 euros to get those 14 boxes, a little bit less thanks to Huawei. So now the question is, am I going to be able to get it within those 14 containers or not? Let's not lose too much time and jump directly into it to see if we're lucky. So there we go, we opened the first one, and as usual we don't have anything, but at least there is some gold. So even if you spend quite a lot of money, you still have some cashback, let's say, concerning what we can get. Okay, let's continue. I don't know why, but I feel like I'll have to... Oh no, it's not 30, it's 25 charms to get the 10 guaranteed. I'm sorry, guys. But I still feel like, no, we are not going to get the Object 260 in one of those boxes. I feel like I'm going to have to gamble again and again and again. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Wargaming is going to be gentle with me, but no. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, concerning crates, is it worth it to gamble? No, it's not worth it to gamble because I'm expecting the tank to come back. Yes, it's gonna take some time, but the tank will come back sooner or later in the shop. So I don't think it's worth gambling on this tank. Here I'm doing it because for me it's an investment. I'm a YouTuber. But for most of the people, it's definitely not worth it spending shit ton of money for a stupid tier 10 tank that shouldn't, but maybe I'm wrong because I did not test it yet, but that shouldn't be better than all the tanks we already have at tier 10, like the T22 Medium, the Chieftain, etc. So there we go, and yeah, I feel like we're not gonna get it here either. No, we didn't. Let's gamble again. I bought the special bundle, the 3 crates containers, because usually when you're lucky, that's where you get the tank. So maybe instead of having to push myself through 25 charms, I'll be able to get the tank before. And yes, it worked. Finally, it took me 15 crates for me to get the tank, which implies that I got it in 15 crates, which is around 90 euros. Still expensive, but at least I'm happy that I didn't have to gamble all my way through the 25 crates. Thank you, gambling god. Okay, it seems like as soon as you unlock the tank, they allow you to get the Pike Camouflage, which is the legendary camo for the 260. This predator slices through water, its sides covered in scale and sharp teeth, ready to tear into prey. Take to battle like a pike to water. So 3,000 for the legendary camo, and now we're gonna take a look at the tank. So, concerning the tank, that's what it looks like when you equip it with the legendary camo. But now, is it worth it? Let me tell you guys that I was amazed by that tank over its gun. Let me explain to you briefly what I mean. 3.9 seconds of aim time is excellent for a Russian tank. The gun dispersion, 0.29. It's as much accurate nearly as a Grill 15, so that tank has a laser gun. The DPM is insane, 2.9k, 8.5 seconds of reload for 420 alpha damage. That tank right there is a DPM beast. The penetration is good as well, 260 with your regular shell, 312 with your heat shell, so nothing to worry about. And for the gun depression, as always, that's where the Russians are lacking a little bit, 6 degrees. Let's say that it's in the norm without being completely broken or good, which implies that that tank is all about its gun. But what about the other statistics? We are going to talk about the armor later on during this replay and everything, so I'm not going to bother with that. All you need to understand is that that tank also features a great mobility, 47 kilometers per hour forward, which is insane for a Russian tier 10 tank, and a good traverse speed with the hull and the turret. So that tank is literally the armor of a heavy tank put on a heavy tank that plays like a medium tank, and obviously that features an incredible armor profile on the turret as well, or at least it should have. So now, before going into the armor, we are going to take a look at the equipment you should use on that tank. First, gun rammer or calibrated shell. You could go for whatever you want, it doesn't change that much. If you take gun rammer, you will reload in 8.5 seconds, but you will struggle a little bit more to penetrate your shells, whereas if you go for calibrated, you will penetrate all your shells, but you have like 9.2 seconds of reload. So it all depends on your playstyle. I'm more comfortable playing with gun rammer, so I go with gun rammer. After, enhanced gun lane drive to reduce a little bit my aiming time, and finally the refined gun, because most of the time with this tank, when you're gonna face your opponents, you're gonna stop before shooting, which implies that I would rather be sure that my gun dispersion is lowered to its maximum. After, I go for the defense system because I'm not gonna ram anybody. Improved assembly because my armor on the hull, you're gonna see after, is not enough for me to catch up with the rest, which implies that I have to get more hit points. Toolbox because an instruct is useless. Improved optics because, oh boy, with that mobility I have, I'm gonna spot for my team and I'm definitely not gonna need a camo. Engine accelerator because my mobility is great, so why not improve it just a little bit. And finally, high and consumable because with 8.5 seconds of reload, trust me guys, you will need and you will have the pleasure of destroying your opponents thanks to your awesome DPM. Now, concerning the armor profile, that's where Wargaming decided to nerf the tank, because if you take a closer look, you're gonna see that it's quite easy to penetrate the tank on the hull, which implies that if you want to maximize your hull armor, you will have to use your gun depression to the maximum and make sure to hide that part of the tank. And there you go, there you will be able to bounce as long as the enemies are not tank destroyers using gold shell. For the rest of the turret, it seems like beside that part right there, all the rest is quite easy to penetrate for tank destroyers or anything using gold shell. And finally, you have that little area, the cupola there, that can be penetrated, which implies that that tank features an amazing mobility, an amazing gun, but not a good armor, which implies that you should have to play it like a medium tank. So the real question is now, guys, what about the playstyle? How do we want to play that tank? And it's tricky. It's tricky because, as I told you, you lack of armor and you need to play it like either a support to your heavies or like a traditional medium. That's why on this game I decided to go on the medium side, but not necessarily where all the mediums are going to the top, because I still lack of mobility compared to regular mediums. So instead I'm trying an in-between between where a heavy would go or where a medium could go as well, which is that part of the map, the middle of the left side, let's say it like that. One thing to notice about that tank is you don't have any armor, so side scrape will not work, all down will not work. It's peekaboo and peekaboo only. You go out of your position, you sneak your shot, and when you sneak your shot, paf, you go back to a safe position. You are not trying to make people bounce because most of the time it will not work. So, wait, I forgot something. I'm gonna put a little bit more volume to the replay for you to catch up the game as well. And I was saying, with that tank, it's all about peekaboo. And you're gonna see peekaboo in this game. It was my first game actually I did with the tank, and I did well because it was an ace tanker, and not a bad ace tanker, not the best ace tanker either, but still a good ace tanker. And you're gonna see through the whole replay, and especially look at the VK right now. We're gonna wait for the VK to come, and derp, we sneak a shot on the VK and we pull back as fast as possible. And look at how weak your tank is when it comes to the hull armor. Here I took it straight into the side of my turret, which is why I got penetrated, but even my armor, the hull armor, is quite weak. So you gotta be careful with this. 8.5 seconds of reload and 7.1 using adrenaline. This tank's DPM is literally insane. It has the best DPM out of all the heavies with a one single shot, and yeah, I guess it has this plus the mobility, which makes it really nice tank. But you need to know what you're doing with that tank. It's an extremely effective tank as long as you're a good player. That's why if you're a new player or you're just average, don't buy the Object 260. You will not do well with it. Now, how do you fight when people can see your hull, when your hull is exposed? Fast answer, you can't. That's why with that tank you always need to make sure that you have some support. You can't push alone, except maybe if you're pushing a low life target because you have the DPM to kill it, but otherwise don't try it. But the combination of mobility and 420 alpha damage in 8.5 seconds of reload is lovely. Literally lovely. I was afraid at first when Wargaming nerfed the tank twice that it would become a useless tank, just a brand of IS-7. And shout out to the developers that made that tank really interesting in its playstyle. I truly feel like this tank has an original playstyle, and that's what we're seeking as old players. We want to try tanks that have a completely different playstyle than the one we regularly and traditionally do, and having a heavy that can't sustain with its armor but has an amazing DPM combined with an amazing mobility, will help us quite a lot understanding how it works and what we are supposed to do with it. And this is really interesting because unlike an IS-7 that he's really not slow but average when it comes to mobility and that doesn't have the best DPM either, here you have the total opposite, even if the tanks aesthetically talking are looking quite the same. So now, should you gamble? Should you gamble? That's the vast question. I don't think you should gamble, because I feel like this tank will sooner or later come back into the shop, because it's the kind of tank that is broken only in the hands of a good player. So is it an overall overpowered tank? I don't feel like it is. It's the same as the Smasher. I know a lot of people are going to say the Smasher is broken, and I can understand in some ways, but give a Smasher to a 40% win rate player and he will not do anything regardless. Now give the Object 260 to a 40% win rate player and he's going to do the exact same and completely mess up his game. 5.3k damage, ace tanker, and a pretty good show off on how we play, on how we should play that tank on the battlefield. Peekaboo is what is extremely important to understand. So hopefully you will learn, and I will do another video on the 260, don't worry. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe, like and share, and I'm going to see you soon for a new video. Bye.